Hello, Lee here. Hope you're doing great. And today is my daily business scope. I do this every morning at around 9 o'clock. You might be thinking to yourself, Steve, how are you doing, man? You might be thinking to yourself, well, Lee, this is 5 minutes before 9. Delilah, how are you? I just sent you a message on Facebook. I got a question. And thank you so much for those hearts already. Guys, I'm trying to build up my heart count. I got some cool stuff to tell you about hearting, and which actually came from an interview that Delilah and I did yesterday. And awesome, Steve. I'm really glad to hear that. And yeah, got a ton of cool stuff for today's show. Called by God, how are you doing today? Those of you who don't know me, and I'll be saying this periodically during the show, these things are kind of like radio. I mean, you can just be driving around and not know what you're listening to, and that's why radio announcers have to sort of let you know where you are every now and then. But my name's Lee Cole. I'm a full-time online entrepreneur. I do both internet marketing and network marketing. And Delilah, whenever you can, no crisis. Um, and I've been doing this full time for 5 years. I've done this part time for 3 years. In other words, I've got 8 years of experience, and I'm using these daily business scopes to share that experience with you. I'm already having a good morning. I hope y'all are having a great morning. Who here's having a great morning besides me? Let me know. Just say, hey Lee, I'm having a great, or give me some hearts if you're having a great morning. So I'm experimenting with start times a little. I saw one purple heart just sort of float up there. God's gift. How are you? Nice to see you on the show again. I saw one little heart float up there. That was awesome. Heart, heart, heart. So this is my little tip about hearts. If you want to give me a ton of hearts because you love me and I'm a great guy and I give great content for free, just you can do it like this really fast and just give me a bunch of hearts. I'm trying to build my way up. Ooh yeah, baby, look at that. I'm trying to build my way up to a bigger heart count. And if you don't follow me because I've got great followers only content. And for those who, I am having a great, God's kid asked me what's up this morning. I am having a great morning, and I'll tell you why. Normally, my morning routine is virtually always the same. I wake up, thank God I don't usually have to listen to an alarm clock. That's in times past. I love those hearts. Thank you so much. Um, but so wake up I generally wake up at the same time. Wake up this morning. We have a 10, I guess he's 10 months old now. 10-month old, don't worry, not a baby. It's not quite as bad as that. Labrador black lab mix. And so this is basically 55 pounds of puppy. And I mean, he's just crazy. I just adore him, but he's nuts. And so usually my routine is I go outside and I have some spiritual work to do in the morning, which sets the course for the day. I mean, it gets me ready for the day. I have this whole process that I do. So it's no big deal, but I have this process that I do end up with maybe a little to-do list if I don't already know what I'm doing from the day before. And the dog's name is Scout. Invariably, Scout wants to play as I get toward the end of that. And usually what he does is he goes out in the yard and finds one of his nasty toys and brings it to me and dumps it on my lap, which he did today. The nasty toy being what used to be one of my gardening shoes. And when we got Scout, he was about 4 months old. And he's a lamb. He naturally fetches stuff, right? So I had fenced part of the yard, so just so he couldn't get out because he's a puppy and doesn't really know to come back. And so we go out there and play when he's a little puppy, and he just grabs. I had these old nasty gardening shoes off to the side. He just grabs those. He loves those. Sticking his little face in them. And I thought that's okay. He can play with them. I'll get them back. They're just gardening shoes. They're covered with mud anyway. Big deal. So like 5 minutes later, he's playing with it, and I get distracted. I look back over it, and he peed in the shoe. Okay. And I thought, okay, dude, you can just keep those. Those are yours now. Those are not mine anymore. So it turns out that these are it's a great toy for a dog to fetch. So he loves for me to throw that incredibly nasty shoe. That's how much I love him. I will pick that thing up. He loves it if I throw that incredibly nasty shoe. He goes and gets it, brings it back, gets a little, they're not little anymore, they're pretty huge. Gets his huge nasty paws on me. And I've already changed clothes twice today. So anyway, Back to the show. I'm experimenting with start times a little bit because the show is ostensibly at 9, but I'm just kind of experimenting. Periscope has been having some just general global, seems like deliverability, IT issues, and I'm just experimenting with times a little bit just to see how that affects things. I may go back to starting dead on 9. I may start 5 minutes before 9. I don't know. Today's show is all about, I talk about network marketing, I talk about internet marketing, and I tend to give you the 30,000 foot view because if you can get your head right, the rest of it will take care of itself. In internet marketing, you name a type of internet marketing, e-commerce, freelance copywriting, email marketing, social media marketing. You name something. I know a bunch of people who make really good livings doing anything that you name. All of that works. Network marketing. You name a company, unless it's really new. You name a company, it's highly likely I know a person doing really, really well in that company. If they can do it, you can do it. It's doable. The thing is, you got to get your head wrapped around it. Okay, you got to emotionally understand what you're doing, and that's kind of like where I like to, in these periscopes is where I like to talk to you. People get really confused. People have shiny object syndrome. People tend to not be able to understand the following: how much effort to put into something before they give up or before they move on to something else. That's human nature. I mean, it's like fishing. I mean, you don't just sit there and fish in one spot all day long. Well, I might, but uh, in general, if you're just sitting there fishing in one spot, for like 4 hours and not catch any fish, I mean, it would make sense to sort of move spots a little bit and see if there are fish somewhere else. It's kind of like that idea. It's human. I totally understand that, but I see so much of in internet marketing, people jumping from product to product to product. And I feel like grabbing them and saying, don't do that, don't do that. My guess is you're probably, John, how are you? Welcome to the show. I feel like grabbing them and saying, don't do that. You're probably maybe a month or two or three away from success, and maybe half a year away from good success, and maybe about a year away from seriously massive success. You know, if you ever read Think and Grow Rich, there's this cool story, and I've forgotten the guy's name, but it was a story about a guy who was out west. I would guess this would be the California Gold Rush. Of course, that book was written in the 30s, I think, the 1930s. Um, California Gold Rush, and he was doing he was mining for gold and all this stuff. And he gave up, and he sold his stake, and another guy comes in. There's a little more to the story, you can read it in the book, but another guy comes in and it's like the first guy was like only a few feet away from a major vein of gold. Of course, you could be a few feet away from a major vein of nothing. Okay, and that's the issue that people face. I mean, are you throwing good time, after bad? Are you throwing good money after bad? But usually, what I see in the internet marketing world and the network marketing world is people not sticking with something long enough for it to even work, even for somebody who knows what they're doing. Okay, would stick with it longer. Like if I was going to get into e-commerce, in my head, I would say, okay, I might need some idea that this is going to kind of sort of work maybe in a couple of months, but this is like a year-long thing to build up a significant business. That's the way I would approach this. If I were getting into a different network marketing company, I would say, okay, we're looking at like a 1, 2, 3 year thing to build up a significant number of people below me, in order to build up a significant income. So, but you're constantly barraged with network marketing. Join my company, join my company, join my company, and it all looks great. And the grass is greener on the other side, right? And in internet marketing, you're constantly barraged with emails from people like me, saying here and I'm when I say people like me, it's not that we have any nefarious intent. I mean one thing that people do in internet marketing is they're affiliate marketers, and it is their job to figure out whether training is good training, figure out whether software works, and then tell their list about it. It's the burden is on the person receiving the email to have the maturity to decide whether that's a good thing for them to buy or not. So I'm not like assigning blame anywhere. I'm just explaining. Um, so I see this so much, and one, I personally have some ways of deciding what I spend my time on, and they work pretty good with me. One of the most important ones, and that has a lot to do with Periscope. One of the most important ones is, do I enjoy it? I mean, that's pretty cool when you think about it. Now, you could say, well, Lee, I enjoy playing video games. Yeah, I enjoy playing video games too. I'm sitting here waiting breathless for Uncharted 4 to come out, or whatever the number on the last one is. Is it 4 or 5? I can't remember. But my son would kill me if he knew I couldn't remember. I think it's 4, but anyway. Yeah, and then when that comes out, I'm basically going to just take a week and start it in one and just play my way through the whole thing because I love that series. Yeah, I got that. I mean, there are things that you enjoy that will never lead to money. But I'm talking about within, let's use some common sense here. Within the scope of business, okay, of the business world. By the way, I saw more hearts. You can give me a lot of hearts if you will do that. Heart, 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 heart. You can give me hearts fast. And furthermore, if you play video games, you'll make your fingers faster. That's just a video gaming joke. But anyway, so I'm within the world of business, within the world of business pursuits, within the world of, marketing pursuits or career pursuits, one great way to sort of say, should I stay or should I go, is, am I enjoying it? And this, like I said, this works out with Periscope. See, Periscope is so new that, I mean, it's not like you can go by, maybe somebody's got some training, but it's not like you get any meaningful training about, the it and all about it, about Periscope and how to make, $40 million a second with Periscope and all that stuff, because it's new. Nobody's totally figured this out yet. I like that aspect of it, by the way. So I don't totally have my head wrapped around Periscope. As a matter of fact, Periscope and the whole live streaming thing represents a kind of it's a little off center for where my main internet marketing business is. Okay, my main internet marketing business is fundamentally an email marketing business, and this is a little off center from that. And I'm not worried about it, but I am cognizant of the fact, hey, Sans Day, how are you? I'm cognizant of the fact that I need to kind of figure out, I need to understand, not necessarily logically figure out, but I need to understand where this fits into the thing. But so this is a new platform. It's a new deal, live streaming. I obviously enjoy talking to people because I enjoy doing these scopes. But the way I'm thinking about this, I mean, I have to go through what I put my time on too. Do I continue to put my time on A? Do I continue to put my time on B? Do I continue to put my time on C? And part of the equation is, am I making money from A? Am I making money from B? Am I making money from C? Is A, B, or C scalable? Do I have to do it myself and all that stuff? But in the infancy of these things, okay, in the infancy of these things, one of the big things that I'm looking at is, do I enjoy it? Am I liking this? Because fundamentally, there are two things going on there. Fundamentally, if you don't like it, look, if you don't like it, you can do it for a month or a year or maybe even 2 years, but you're not going to build a real business doing something that you fundamentally don't like. So let's have an example of that. Network marketing. This is, like the company I'm with, Carrot Bars, which I forgot to have my little Carrot Bars card so that I could say the show was sponsored by Carrot Bars. But if you want to know more about that, go to my website, leecolegold.com, and check it out. But anyway, if you're in a company like Carrot Bars or something like that, those companies work because people build relationships with other people. Okay, it is a person-to-person thing. So fundamentally, if you do not like talking to other people, if that's not your thing, for whatever reason, if you're not willing to grow out of that, okay, or maybe that's just not the way God made you, and it's okay, but if that's not your deal, then I'm not saying never, but you might ought to think about whether you should be doing something that requires you to talk to people. direct sales, selling real estate. Let's take it out of the online world or the alternative income world. And if you don't fundamentally enjoy talking to people, you're going to hate having two people that are kind of strangers in your car 5 hours a day showing them houses. You're going to hate that. And it's going to show, and the whole business isn't going to work for you. You're not going to be a very good real estate agent. Okay? Because you're fundamental. Now you could suck it up and do that for a year, but you're not making a career out of that. That's not happening. Or if you do, you're going to be awfully miserable. So that's one side of the do you enjoy it thing. The other side of the do you enjoy it thing, you know, is, the world, reality will give you feedback. All right, and it'll give you negative feedback. You do something stupid or wrong, then there are consequences. That's called negative feedback. But if you're doing something right, there's positive feedback. And positive feedback does not always come in the form of a check, more money in your PayPal account. Sometimes it just comes in the form, especially in the infancy of the thing, of a really good feeling inside of, man, I dig this. I like this. I have no idea where it's going, but I like it. That's kind of like where I am with Periscope. Abstractly, I can understand how it builds an audience. I can understand how it's a precursor to other social media sites. By the way, as I said that, I realized I forgot to tell you to go connect with me on Facebook, facebook.com/LeeColeOnline. LinkedIn, I'm huge on LinkedIn. LinkedIn.com/IN/LeeColeOnline. Connect with me there. Go to my website, internetmaverick.com. But I can understand how Periscope will, it's kind of like a gathering place before people connect with me on Facebook, before people connect with me on LinkedIn. So abstractly, I can understand that. It's just that from a running a business point of view, I'm not totally understanding it. But I'm going with it because I get so much positive feedback, from the interior of me. I get so much positive feedback from reality. I get people telling me, man, I'm really digging your scopes. I had a complete stranger. I've had many complete strangers on social media just hit me up and say, saw your scope on yada yada, totally dig that. Man, I'm totally digging these scopes. Good positive feedback. Exactly how it fits in, I don't know exactly how it fits in. That will unveil itself as time goes on. But what I'm telling you, the bottom line here is, it is a good idea, Lee thinks. It is a good idea for you to enjoy your life. Okay, you're going to be here for a finite amount of time. In business, okay, in those pursuits, career, business, entrepreneurship, whatever, it is a really good idea for you to really enjoy the doing of the business and what the business accomplishes. Okay, that is building your house on a rock. That is setting yourself up for success. If you're doing something because, this is where people get into trouble. If you're doing something because all those other people told you they were making money, or you legitimately do know other people making money, well, so-and-so's, the whole fulfillment by Amazon thing, and I'm just using that as an example. I've never really done a ton of that, but, so-and-so's killing it with fulfillment by Amazon, so maybe I should do that too. And then you get into the nitty-gritty of fulfillment by Amazon. You can start out by driving around to Costco and places like that and buying big lots of stuff. But you may fundamentally hate that process. Or you can get on, eBay and look for big lots of stuff that you can buy and, get delivered to you, repack it, send them to Amazon and all that stuff. But you may fundamentally hate that process. You may rather have your eyes poked out with rusty nails than do that. So that's not going to work for you. If you're sitting there grinding your way through the thing and fundamentally hating the process, that's not going to work. I hate that, hate's too strong of a word. I am leery of that, Mav, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I am leery of that meme going around, rise and grind. It's a play on the words rise and shine, right? I like rise and shine better because, it just makes sense to me. Shining is a good thing, putting your light on a hill where people can see it rather than hiding it. Rise and shine. But rise and grind, I'm kind of envisioning, hey Mav, I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. Rise and grind, I'm kind of envisioning somebody waking up, thinking, oh God, I've got to do whatever that is again, I mean, if that's the deal, man, I mean, if you're selling, if you're selling that part of you for the promise of maybe making money, I'm here to tell you that's not going to work. It won't work in careers. I mean, look at all the people that, and I'm not hating on lawyers, I'm using this as an example. I have many good friends who are attorneys. But look and really enjoy the practice of being an attorney. But look at all the people who go to law school because their parents said, you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer. And they go to law school, they get out, they're working for, big company, they're working like 12, 14 hours a day when you're a junior lawyer. And they fundamentally hate the thing and they fundamentally hate the whole thing. But they got the big house, they got the expensive husband or wife, and they got all the cars, they got the kids in private school, and they're trapped. And I mean, they just end up drinking themselves to death or something. I mean, it happens, all right? So this is serious stuff. So I'm saying enjoy your life. And you can use that, you can use enjoyment as a way of taking the temperature of the things that you're trying in business. So like, again, me and Periscopes, I'm repeating myself a little bit because I got some more people coming on. But like me and Periscopes, I'm saying, I don't really know how this plays out. I don't need to know, by the way. I jump in and figure it out later, okay, which is a good skill to have. Maybe I'll do a whole show or series of shows on that. But I like this. This is good for me, okay? This makes sense to me on a fundamental level. And so I'm going with this. See, now if I got all excited about Periscope and because all these other people were excited about Periscope and I'm sitting here looking at my phone and looking at my picture and talking and thinking, man, I hate this. Look at the clock. It's 9:17. I wonder when I can shut up and all that stuff. If I had that attitude, that's going to, you're going to look at this saying, man, I'm not looking at that guy. Something's wrong here. I don't know what it is, but I got other things to do with my life. It's not going to work. See what I'm saying? So use enjoyment as a way to channel your energy. And if you can use enjoyment intelligently, you don't have to be addicted to enjoyment, but if you can use enjoyment intelligently to channel your energy, you're going to end up being much more efficient, you're going to end up having more success, and you're going to end up getting to success faster. That's today's show. Again, I'm Lee Cole. Connect with me on my blog, internetmaverick.com. Facebook, facebook.com/Lee Cole online. Don't go to facebook.com Lee Cole. That guy is actually a comedian in Las Vegas, the dirty dog. But anyway, go to facebook.com Lee Cole online. Go to LinkedIn, linkedin.com/IN/Lee Cole online. Connect with me there. Let me know how I can help you in your business and your professional life. I'm here to help. I'm here to build a big tribe. Just reach out to me and say, hey, Lee, that was cool. I need to know more about yada yada. We'll do a show on it. Awesome. You have a wonderful day. Love you and talk to you soon.